So there's all these Lord of the Rings sets coming out, the Shire / Bag End, the gift with purchase that comes with it with Smeagol and Deagle, and then we're learning about the bookend with Gandalf and the Durin's Bane. Meanwhile, I've been sitting on this video that I filmed months and months ago of my Lord of the Rings collection video, so I'm finally uploading it all for you today, and I'm very happy to share it with you. Even though it is a little late, I'm sure you all will appreciate the collection tour of all of my years of Lord of the Rings minifigure collecting into one video. Okay, here it is, the 2025 Lego Lord of the Rings minifigure collection. So you probably already have seen my Orc Army video, or at least you should have. I've already uploaded that one. And that will show off the majority of these figures on this first table. But today we're also showing off all of the good guys too. So should be a fun video. Starting over with this first table of figures, we have some cave trolls, the Mordor and Hunter orcs. A lot of them have the Uruk-hai army helmet that I put on. Some of the new Barad-dûr minifigures, which are really, really nice. You'll notice the Hunter orcs, they do have the legs that are different than the Mordor orcs. Mouth of Sauron and Sauron himself, along with Saruman. And then we have the Nazgul, or the Ringwraiths, the Witch King included. An amazing figure. If you don't have this guy, I'd recommend picking him up. He's glow in the dark, really, really sick. And then our Palantir up front. We have Wormtongue as well. Shout out to Palantir. We've got the Wargs, Gothmog. I love these Wargs, super great mold, and I don't see Lego coming out with them anytime soon again. A part of Umbar 2, Peter Jackson. And then let's move over to the Uruk-hai. All of those are some authentic flags. Berserkers, only a couple of those, but I do have quite a number of the armored up Uruk-hai, as well as the handprint of Saruman Uruk-hai. So those are a little more expensive. By a little, I mean they're like 3 times more expensive. And then Lurtz on the left, who's also a really great fig. His head is actually inexpensive. So not joking about that. If you do want to build some Uruk-hai, not a bad option. Then we've got Moria over here. Of course, I throw on some purist armor to complement them. And then we've got Azog. Pretty big size faction here. Some of them I do also have the Chima legs on, Chima crocodile legs on. But pretty armored up. And then the Gundabad pumpkin orange guys, maybe led by that unreleased prototype Bolg minifigure. Super duper sick. Check out my video on that. Authentic Lego. But the pumpkin guys are pretty nice. They're pretty cool. Our Ringwraith, Mouth of Sauron horses. And then my small contingent of goblins, Isildur Purist, Smog, and a few more cave trolls. Now let's move over to the actual part of the army that has not been seen before, the collection. Starting off, we've got Treebeard, a few Mirkwood deer. You can pick those up on pad. But moving over, we start out with the elves. We've got Thranduil, a couple of them. I have some nice capes on, but we've got our Mirkwood contingent. These guys have armored up, looking really sick, and a bunch of Mirkwood elves. So you can see different variants from the movies, lots of Legolas, and even Tariel in the back. So highly recommend those guys. And we're out of Mirkwood and into Lothlorien and Rivendell with Galadriel and Lady Arwen, Haldir, and some other elves. We've got our Elrond variants as well as our Gandalf variants. Lots of different ones there. Radagast, who's actually a really expensive figure, and more Gandalf. And now we are moving to men with Aragorn and Boromir in the front. I have tons and tons of these figures, you can tell. I really like that Aragorn figure, as I'm sure many of you do. Here's some more Aragorns. Beorn, who's pretty underrated, give him the video game armor. And then my little army of the dead men of Dunharrow. So I've got those figures which are glow in the dark, or at least partially, along with 3 of the King of the Deads. And Rohan, so we have some Theoden kings, awesome armor. Very few figures can live up to that armor. Rohan, so this is mainly Aemir, and then the Rohan archers. I do have a few banners from the Helm's Deep set. And then if we go to Lake Town, we have the Master of Lake Town and the Lake Town guards. I tried giving all of those Lake Town guards Lake Town guard shields, or shields of Lake Town. And then we've got Bard and his son. And that would do it for men. Let's go to dwarves. So we've got Gimli, Gloin, and Oin in the front. I have a lot of these figures, and I have to say there really are some of the figures with the most character out of all of these Lord of the Rings figures. They put so much detail in every one of these dwarves from the company of Thorn Oakenshield. So you can go through and name them. We have some Thorn in the back, who obviously is pretty sought after in that crown armor. We have Dane Ironfoot. And then let's go over to, last not least, the Hobbits, Frodo, Sam, and Merry, Pippin, Bilbo, even Gollum. We all love these characters. This is maybe supposed to be the characters in Lord of the Rings that we immediately relate to, but I think everyone, can find things in all the characters in Lord of the Rings they like. A bunch of eagles. I think I only have one of the versions that is from The Hobbit. And here are my blue coat Bilbos. So those are very valuable figures. I've got 3 of them sealed, and then one of those Mirkwood elf movie theater exclusives, and then a bunch of Lake Town Guard polybags. A bunch of them, like 20 around that many. In addition to the ones that I already have open. So that's it for the entire collection, really, other than, the polybags I didn't show off already on this side. I tried collecting one of every polybag, but I'm not quite there. I do have some that I'm missing. Not that they have anything that exclusive or cool, but I don't have them sealed. But yeah, that's the entire collection. You've seen the good guys, you've seen the bad guys. What do you think is the best part of the collection? What part of the collection do you think is the toughest to get? And what part of the collection do you think should grow more, or that Lego should come out with in the future so we can be able to get those figures, those characters? I know there's a lot of Lord of the Rings interest in Lego recently. So I'm sure a lot of you have some good ideas for what we could see next from the Lord of the Rings. So for the rest of the video, it's just going to be a pan over of the army and everything. And I will say this video was recorded a little bit ago, some months ago, actually. So I do have an even slightly bigger collection since then. We're not talking too much bigger, but I got, for example, a lot of wargs. So I'll be posting a warg video in the future of showing off my warg army. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching and hope you have a good one. Goodbye. All right, some bonus content. Here are a lot of my purest figures that I've made. Some elves. I just think that's a great figure use from some Harry Potter Headless Nick figure. That's what it's called. You take that figure and you can use it for pretty much any kind of elf. The Atlantis figure and Barris Offee variants. I think everyone knows about this. I made a video years ago and everyone is using these guys for elves from Rivendell, which is really cool. And here's my Purist Isildur. I love that figure. I think it looks really good. I love how we also have the broken Narsil to go with it. Just a few more figures. This is a Clutunian warrior Star Wars figure. Some rogue CMFs that I use as the Farmir's figures. Why am I forgetting the name right now? I'll remember it in 2 seconds if I wasn't talking. But here are the Gondor Knights. I really like them, and those Heroic Knight breastplates are pretty tough to get these days. This is the Faramir, and then here are a bunch of the more purist Rohan figures. I'm sure a lot of you guys are out here getting those these days. And then last but not least, let's just end it off with Isildur and my purest Sauron.